In today's video, I'm going to be teaching you guys the importance of each of the 5 brain waves to help you better your understanding of spirituality, manifestation, and your mental states. First on a list of our 5 main brain waves are the highest frequency gamma waves. From 30 to 100 hertz, our brains are producing gamma waves. Gamma waves are also known as the peak state of consciousness, or what Dr. Joe Dispenza calls them, super consciousness. Gamma waves are when you're at your peak of focus, of concentration. It's also known as the flow state, which most of you guys are familiar with. So whenever you're playing basketball, you're ever playing soccer, whenever you're doing hard work and you get into that locked in mode, know that you just went into gamma waves. You just produced gamma waves from your brain and you are in that gamma state of peak consciousness. You also experience gamma when you're problem solving. I would recommend always trying to get into gamma when you're doing a lot of work, you're playing your sport, something when you always need to stay locked in and focused, because it does help with problem solving. You're going to be ultimate peak consciousness, focus, concentration, all of that. But it's not easy to always tap into just like that. From what I know of, only the meditators, the monks that have 10,000 hours of meditation practice can just tap into gamma just like that. And it's hard. It's a hard thing to do, but there are some exercises to easily tap into the gamma and get into that flow state. Scientifically, when you are in that flow state and gamma waves are being produced, all parts of the brain are actually firing at the same time. All the neurons are firing at the same time, which is causing those gamma waves in that flow state. Next up, we got beta from 12 to 30 hertz, and you can tell right here the brain waves are kind of slowing down a little bit compared to the gamma waves. But beta is our predominant brain and mental state, and that is when we're awake. You're awake right now, right? You're in beta. You can be awake in gamma, alpha, a little bit in theta, but I'm saying like you're awake, you're aware, you're alert. You can tell about like you have logical thinking. You got it's our just normal state of mind, but there are some downsides to beta. So in beta, we get anxiety, we get stress because we're thinking so much, we're being logical, we're thinking about the homework that's due in a week. So it's good to be in beta because you have that little bit of problem solving, you have that logical, but you don't always want to be in beta because it can cause a lot of stress, anxiety, depression on you because you're thinking so much. In gamma, you're obviously just locked in with focused on the now and stuff, but beta, you could be wandering off. But beta is our predominant state. Nothing special. I'm in beta, most like you're in beta. I wish I was in gamma, but I'm in beta. Nothing special. Next up, we have alpha from 8 to 12 hertz, and as you can see here, starts to get a little bit slower compared to beta and gamma. But alpha is where I like to say things get a little bit interesting. In alpha, we have no stress, we have no anxiety, we're in a place of calm, we're in a place of relaxation. We're at our peak of creativity, and as Tony Robbins says, that there is no problem that can't be solved in alpha state. In alpha state, your mind and body are working together efficiently, solving any problem at hand, completing any task at hand, because it's the peak creativity. You're going to be able to solve any problem you can in alpha. And alpha is one of the most important ways to train, and if you can snap into alpha like that, you're going to be a beast. You're going to come up with solutions for a company. If you can tap into alpha, but most of us, alpha state is when we are in a state of meditation, when we're meditating, a place of calm. I get alpha sometimes in the shower. Before I go to bed, I get into alpha a little bit and I come up with solutions to problems. I come up, oh, why was I thinking that? Oh, I just tapped into alpha and I thought of it. Yeah, alpha is like basically your superhuman, and it's great to learn how to tap into alpha like that, because there are ways to tap into alpha, and it's good to train them, and if you can tap into alpha like that, you're going to be a total beast, efficiently accomplishing any task at hand with a sense of relaxation in alpha. It's unbelievable. After doing my research on all these brain states in alpha, I learned that from one of the stories in Think and Grow Rich that I read, one of the problem solvers that solved many problems at the company, who'd actually close his eyes and try to get into the alpha state to come up with new ways to solve problems for the companies with new inventions. I can guarantee you Pablo Picasso, all those artists were tapping into their alpha state and coming up with those beautiful and interesting pictures they made. And it's cool to see that alpha, we all have capabilities to get into our alpha state. And if we tap into that, we can cause some serious damage in a good way. Next up, after alpha, we got theta from 4 to 8 hertz, and it gets real slow after that. And theta is the easy way to put it. We all get into theta when we're coming into sleep and we're getting out of sleep. That state where we're very, very drowsy, we're coming out of sleep, we're about to fall asleep. That's theta. We're in theta then. And this is only experienced like that with very advanced meditators, like full monks. They can tap into theta like that. But the natural way is stage 1 and stage 2 of sleep, coming in, coming out of sleep. In theta, it gets deep with spirituality and all of that stuff. I'm not sure if I know all that yet, but the easy way to put it is, though, theta is that state, and I recommend when you're going to bed, you're thinking about your goals, so it comes into the delta. We'll talk about that next. So it goes in that delta state, and we're coming out of sleep. You're thinking about your goals. That's great. But theta is also a pretty simple one, but it gets deep with spirituality. Like if you experience the theta, you can access the Akashic records. But yeah, for the most part, I recommend thinking, and you can get some serious manifestation done in the theta state that can really be effective for you. And yeah. The other part is just like you can access the Akashic records, which is everything that's ever been and will be ever created is in the theta state, which you can access there. But also very cool thing that I learned was that Thomas Edison, because in alpha he would also get his ideas, but in theta he would also get even better ideas, potentially from the Akashic records. But so he would fall asleep he would lay on his very comfortable chair with a metal ball. When he'd go to sleep, he'd be thinking about his newest invention, world changing. And then when he gets into theta, he's still kind of holding on to it a little bit, but once he reaches that theta, he drops the ball. Whatever he's thinking of, he'll wake up and he'll create that invention that he accessed in the theta state. I don't know if it's the Akashic records, but I'm knowing that you can get some serious ideas in theta state. Fun fact, the woman that created Frankenstein, actually pretty sure got it in theta when she was about to fall asleep or waking up from sleep. And that's just some fun facts about theta. But yeah, theta is a pretty basic one, and you can get some serious manifesting in theta. We'll teach about that later on. But yeah, drowsiness, creativity, sometimes in theta it can feel even more real than real life. Spiritual awareness type of thing in theta, and you're very intuitive. But yeah, that's pretty much theta all summed up for you. Last but definitely not least is our delta state, from 1 to 4 hertz. As you can tell, very, very slow. And in delta state, that's pretty much just deep sleep, and it usually takes around 90 minutes to get into that delta state from theta. And the reason why I said theta, you should think about what you want to manifest in theta, is because in delta you're having access to your subconscious. You can reprogram your subconscious in your delta, and that's what I'm saying. When you're theta, start thinking about what you want to change, what you want to reprogram, because in theta you have all that access to your subconscious. But yeah, delta is just your deep sleep, your healing in delta and stuff like that. But yeah, you can access your subconscious, you can achieve kundalini, you can experience kundalini, which is supposed to be life-changing. I haven't done any of that stuff yet. I'm just understanding all of these things right now. But yeah, delta is a healing state, 1 to 4 hertz, very slow, very calm. You shouldn't feel any stress in delta. You should be healing yourself, and it's a very calm state. And we all love to sleep, right? Get enough delta to heal yourself. So yeah, those are basically all 5 of the brain waves summed up for you guys. Each of these have their role, and we should appreciate and love all of the states, Gamma is cool, beta is cool, alpha is cool, theta is cool, and delta is cool. We should appreciate all of them. And yeah, hopefully you guys learned something about this right here, and we can go in more depth with each one later on, especially alpha. Alpha is very interesting, and there are some easy ways to tap into alpha and become a beast. But all those things summed up. Love you guys so much. Please subscribe to me. I love you guys.